Hey, it's Niamh, and in this video we're going to unravel the great debate, stay-at-home mom versus working mom, and how to decide which one is right for you. Stay tuned. Now, for today's modern woman, the decision of what to do after having your first child is incredibly difficult. Do you become a stay-at-home mom or do you become a working mom? And now that we have so many choices, it's almost become even harder for us to kind of unravel what's right for us. Now, there is actually a third option, which is what I have taken, but I'll let you know about that at the end. Let's just look at what is actually entailed in making this decision. Now, you want to actually look at three things when you're deciding whether you should be a work-at-home mom or a stay-at-home mom. The first thing is the needs of your child. And this is something that's deeply personal, and I'm not going to presume to tell you what is right for your child. This is going to be between you, your partner, and your child's individual needs. Now, there's absolutely no doubt that having a parent at home is beneficial for a child. But if this puts a massive strain on the finances or makes it difficult for you to be a good parent, then the costs might end up outweighing the benefits. So I'm going to leave that one totally up for you. Now, the second question is, what's right for you? You're going to be a better parent if you're feeling fulfilled and if you feel like you have some sense of autonomy in your life. For me, after I had my first daughter, I felt completely swamped and I kind of felt like a slave to motherhood. I stayed home with her for the first 6 months, and after about 6 months, I decided that I had to go to work because I simply wasn't feeling like myself. I didn't really feel like I mattered as a person, and I wasn't feeling totally fulfilled. I did have some guilt around this decision. I was sort of feeling like, am I a bad person? All these kind of funny questions came up in my head. But the truth was that for me at that time, going back to work did make me a better mom because suddenly I felt like I mattered, I felt like I had purpose, and I felt like I had a space in the world. Now, there are plenty of women, there are an enormous number of women that find that at home, that find that way to still feel completely fulfilled and to still feel that sense of autonomy even as a stay-at-home mom. So that's going to be another decision that's quite personal. It's kind of based on what makes you feel good about being yourself, what makes you feel like you have a place and a purpose. And you'll discover that the answer to that probably as you go, but it's a great question to ask yourself now is, well, what would make me still feel good about being me? Because the more you feel good in yourself, the better you're going to be as a parent. Now, the third question to ask yourself is the finances. How is this going to affect your family financially? And this is where you want to actually sit down and run the numbers. Go and do the research. How much, if you went back to work, how much would childcare cost? If you stay home, how would the loss of your income affect the family? So you're going to want to look at all of the numbers as they are and see if it's financially viable for you to either stay home or go to work based on whichever one is sort of your preference. Now, the other thing you can do when you're running the numbers is be a little bit wild. Look at wild other options. So it could be like, what would happen if you moved to a smaller home? How would that change the finances in order to let you do what you want to do? What would happen if you moved nearer to a relative who might be able to provide some cheaper childcare to you? So you want to kind of look at first, look at how things are and how the finances stand and whether or not what you want to do is a viable option. And then if it's not, you want to look at some radical other ways. Like what is a radical change you could make that could really affect you being able to do what it is that you want to do. For me, I genuinely did really want to stay home, but I really struggled with that feeling of autonomy. And that's actually where I discovered the third option. Not being a stay-at-home mom, not being a working mom, but being a work-at-home mom. And it was actually through becoming a work-at-home mom that I found that I felt fulfilled through doing my work, through still having something to do that was myself, that I still felt very purposeful in my family. I felt like I was contributing to my family. And I still got to be there. I got to be there with my kids. You can probably hear them in the background now running around playing. And actually we became an entirely stay-at-home family so that neither of us had jobs. So that has been an incredible third option. Again, it's a little bit radical. It's a little bit different from what most people do, but you really want to look at how can you live the life that you want and provide for your family in being the kind of parent that you want to be. So whichever option you choose, one, I want you to know it's perfectly okay. A lot of us feel like we should want one thing or we should want another, and it's okay as long as you're a loving parent and you're there for your children. Then I feel like, you know, do what's right for you. And it may be choosing a radical third option like starting your own business from home. So whatever you choose, go for it. You just want to look at those three things so that you know that you're making the right decision for you, for your family, and for your family's finances. So I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.